You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
CIA agents say Trump administration pushed them to lie, based on an article by Nick Hilden. Trump wants intelligence as a servant class, power, not confusion. The source story is not about a misunderstanding inside government. It describes a deliberate exercise of power. The Trump administration, with Tulsi Gabbard in a central role, allegedly punished career intelligence officers for refusing to reshape analysis to match White House preferences. That is the real event. Everything else is camouflage. This is what happens when political loyalty is treated as a higher order than fact. Intelligence work becomes disposable the moment it stops laundering presidential claims. The point was the output. The clearest example in the report is the effort to rewrite an assessment about Venezuela and Tren de Aragua so the administration could build a legal rationale for deporting Venezuelan immigrants. That is not bureaucratic friction. It is policy-driven fabrication, with intelligence asked to retrofit a political outcome. The decision-makers are not obscure. The White House wanted a usable conclusion. Gabbard's deputy allegedly tried to force it. Career officers resisted. 2 were dismissed. The chain of responsibility is visible, and it runs upward. Misdirection as governance. The article's framing usefully exposes the pressure on analysts, but the deeper scandal is how often this kind of coercion gets softened into vague language about political pressure. That phrasing can make authoritarian behavior sound like ordinary Washington dysfunction. It is not ordinary. Revoking security clearances without evidence, targeting officials tied to investigations Trump hates, and punishing analysts for inconvenient facts are acts of political discipline. The point is not to improve intelligence. The point is to warn everyone else what happens when the facts embarrass power. The truth has become a liability. The report also notes fears that officers could lose their jobs, lose their clearances, or be harassed by online loyalists. That matters because it shows the administration's pressure campaign is not confined to internal personnel moves. It spills outward into intimidation. Stephen Cash's comparison is the right one. An intelligence community treated like a propaganda office is not a side issue. It is a structural conversion of state capacity into partisan messaging. Once that line is crossed, truth-telling becomes career-risk behavior. This is the pattern. The broader pattern is simple. Authoritarian politics does not only lie to the public, it tries to reorganize institutions so that lying becomes administratively easier and dissent becomes personally expensive. The intelligence community is useful to that project only if it can be bent into a pressed shop. That is the story here. Not a few bad personalities, but a governing method that demands evidence be subordinated to power. When facts lose and loyalty wins, the institution has already been damaged. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Alternet for today's article, with the automated voice of Ryan. Thanks for listening.